Hey, I'm JR.
And I'm Mike from the 18 Over Par with Mike and JR podcast.
Welcome to Season 5 of the pod, where we'll continue exploring the sights, stories, and sounds of golf on the prairies, where you'll find some of the most golf courses per capita of anywhere in the world. And beer. Lots of beer.
That's right, JR. More beer.
It's the 18 Over Par podcast with Mike and JR.
You suck, you jackass.
Welcome to 18 Over Par with Mike and JR, proudly presented by Bryce Matlashewski, who is an investment advisor with Endeavor Wealth Management, part of IA Private Wealth, and a member of the Canadian Investor Protection Fund. You can contact Bryce at 204-515-3446. I'm JR, he's Mike, and today we're joined by the multi-talented Westwood resident, Tim Ringland. Him and his team won a few Scramble tournaments in 2024, and when he's not making birdies, he's selling homes as tradesman Realtor Tim or fighting fires. Can you believe it? We made it. It's season 5, the 5th year of the 18 Over Par podcast.
I can't believe it at all, JR. I didn't even think we'd last 5 episodes, let alone 5 seasons. It's amazing. We're still talking to people about golf, and somebody's listening.
Somebody's listening worldwide now. We're getting coverage worldwide all over the globe, but again, we like to keep it local. We like to keep it fresh, and we got the tradesman lager here. Maybe we'll dive into that a little bit later, but yeah, season 5. Started this sucker in 2020. It's now 2025. Thank you so much for listening, for tuning in, for coming out to our events. You can usually find us at Fourth Line. Thursday nights, we do sports nights there. We got a game of the week on. We got weekly specials, everything coming on. And we got golf tournaments. And we'll touch on those a little bit later on in the show because we have a Scramble champion of the world.
That's right.
2024.
Here today.
Sitting with us. So we're in Studio A. We're inside because it's really cold outside.
On the couch.
We're watching the Four Nations face off, having some drinks. Again, beer. We got a lot of flack last year for not talking enough about beer. So let's start it off then with the Tradesman Lager. So what is the Tradesman Lager here?
Tradesman Lager is, it's our branded beer. My partner and I, Roman, we honed ourselves as the Tradesman Realtors, and we got this Tradesman Lager here. So it's actually a buddy of ours from the Winnipeg Fire Department. Shout out to Jesse Davies. He's a partner in Namesake Brewing in Winnipeg.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, so he...
Get him on the pod.
Yeah, you know what? He'd be a great guest for you guys.
Keep it local.
I do love Namesake. They got the Ruddy Duck and the
Great beers.
Timepiece IPA or something.
Oh, okay.
I'm screwing that one up.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys, but... I had too many of those, and that's why I can't remember it. But great beer at Namesake.
Yeah, no, honestly, great beer, great guy. And he helped us brand some beers. So basically, we give these out to clients. So, a lot of realtors, when you sell something to them, they give you a bottle of wine or something. So we give a flat of Tradesman Lagers. And,
nice.
Yeah. And then we kind of, it's just like content and branding for us, really.
For sure. Yeah, it's great. I mean, I actually haven't tried it yet. So I'm going to try it. I got a gin going right now. Just because I had a late night last night, so a little hair of the dog here.
Oh,
get a little gin
let's
in ya.
get into that.
Yeah,
We won't get into that because that's a sidebar for somewhere else, but not a sidebar. Well, he might be because he hasn't officially signed on the dotted line. This will be his 4th year coming back on. That is Bryce Matlashewski, who is an investment advisor with Endeavor Wealth Management, part of IA Private Wealth and a member of the Canadian Investor Protection Fund. You can contact Bryce at 204-515-3446. You can also find him in our link tree. Just go to our Facebook or Instagram, click on our bio, and you will find our link tree there with a bunch of links. We got Fourth Line links, we got Bryce Matlashewski links, and we're going to have a link to the Tradesman Realtors, and maybe even Guns and Hoses.
Okay.
Little hockey tournament, so how you can, not a hockey tournament, a hockey game. We'll touch on that again in a second too, but this is a golf podcast, and you yourself, Tim, how did you get into golf?
You know what? I started golfing at a young age. Pretty much similar to most people with their old man.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so, my old man had me swinging, chopped down a driver. I was swinging that in the backyard. I remember hitting balls into a tarp when I was about, and I confirmed with my dad today because I knew you were going to ask. how old is I? I thought I was much younger, but I think I was 4 or 5, just hitting drivers into the tarp. Yeah.
Wow.
And so I remember doing that, have a vivid memory of that. And then playing at Charleswood Golf Course with my old man and my granddad, walking the course, playing 9 holes. We played 9 holes, and I'd always remember going into the clubhouse after and eating a slice of banana cream pie. That was that was the thing. Yeah, it's so funny because I absolutely hate bananas, which is so strange. But that was what I would do they'd get me at the course, and I'd knock it around and then go eat some banana pie in the clubhouse.
Oh, that's amazing.
Charleswood Golf Course, yeah.
Charleswood Golf Course. What is it now? Bill Clements Parkway?
Well, yeah, and then it's also a dog park.
Yeah, dog park.
Oh, the dog park. Yeah, too. Speaking of which, we have Sammy.
Yeah.
Sammy here, the dog.
She's...
We had Ozzy the cat, but he passed away last year. So we no longer have Ozzy the cat, but we have Sammy the dog, and she is all over Mike because Mike is allergic.
Should be good. We'll get some good nasally voice this episode.
Shout out to Reactin'.
I never got to play the Charleswood 9 there. Just closed before I think I ever got into the game. Maybe I'm not sure what year it would have closed, but
yeah, I can't remember.
It seemed like it was a nice track.
Yeah, I don't remember it at all, honestly. I just remember, like, you know, it's so long ago when you're a kid, but, like, you know, you have those memories ingrained in your brain, but I don't remember the course at all, but great memories there for sure.
And Tim Sr., your dad, he must have been quite the avid golfer then. If
he's a hell of a golfer. Like, even now, like, he doesn't play as much anymore, which is crazy, as he's retired now. As soon as he retired, he stopped playing as much as he did because he said it took up too much time, which is insane. He plays tennis, works out, sails. He's very active. But I'll still get around with him every summer, and he'll just pick up the sticks. Hasn't played in months, and he'll go and shoot a 75, no problem. So he's got a hell of a swing. Nice and easy, straight up the pipe.
No kidding. Kind of similar to you, actually. Is that like where you learn the game? You learn from him?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, like he honed the swing and gave me tips for all my life, kind of thing.
Nice.
Still get nervous playing with him though. You know, we always had the long time bet that I think he had it with his father, where if you beat him, you get his clubs. So every time I play, I'm always eyeing up his Titleist blades, but yet to beat him. So
really, that's even like last year. I mean,
even last year. Like there was one time, it was actually last year, and it was close. We were playing out in Gimli, not at Lynx, but just up the road there. And no, he still took me down. So.
Right. The Meadows?
Meadows, yeah.
Yeah. That's a newer one, right?
Yeah. It's pretty open, but honestly not a bad little course.
Right.
Well, even on that note, because, you know, without beating your dad, your game seems to really have improved, at least for me, watching you play the past couple years especially. Like, what have you been doing? Just playing more?
Yeah, well, appreciate you saying that. Thanks for the thanks for the tire
Hyping
pump.
You up, yeah.
Oh wow, that feels great. I hope my wife's listening to this. I swear I'm getting better.
Yeah, well, I got you 9.3 on Golf Canada.
Yes, yeah, and you know what? I've been hovering around like a 12 for a few years since I started tracking, and then the last couple of years I've been dipping down to 9. I think I got it to an 8 at one point for maybe a week, and then I went back up to 9, 10. So it kind of bounces back and forth.
That's pretty impressive. Like all things considered, you know, even though I didn't know you actually started golf at that young of age.
Yeah, I feel like I should be better.
But don't we all?
just based on my starting at such a young age.
You feel like you stopped playing golf maybe in high school and shortly after, then got back into it, and probably especially more in the last 5 years?
Yeah, definitely. I think I definitely started playing a lot more in the last 5 years for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, I played steady, like, you know, through high school, but it wouldn't be that much, you know, like probably like anybody.
Yeah.
The odd round in the summer kind of thing, but mostly like scramble tournaments or something.
Yeah.
The drunken golf games.
Yes. Yeah.
Did you take any lessons as a kid?
I remember I took a couple lessons. You guys probably had me. Corey from Breezy. Did you guys ever have him on the pod?
Oh, yeah. Corey Johnson.
Yeah, Corey Johnson.
Yeah.
So he used to be the pro back at Breezy. So I was a member at Breezy when I was a junior, like middle school.
Okay.
And I remember I took a couple lessons from him on the range there. Nothing crazy, but definitely helped me out with the irons back then, and kind of just used that going forward.
Shout out to Corey, big fan of the pod.
Yeah, you know what? I remember he used to drive a Mustang. He had that license plate T1 up. I don't know if he still has that red Mustang, but
that's awesome.
We'll ask him.
I always thought he was the coolest. Yeah,
a picture of that.
Yeah, T1 up.
Yeah.
He didn't bring that up during the pod that we had with him. I don't know what season it is now that we talked to Corey. I don't know. Go scroll through there.
We need a AI assistant to search these things
No
up.
kidding.
For
Haven't we
us.
been talking about that now for a few months? We need an assistant. So if you want to be an assistant, you want to be an intern, 18 over pod intern.
Especially a
us up in DMs.
content intern.
Yes.
I feel like that screams Adam Walker. Get those fingers moving on a keyboard. Just being your assistant in the corner. He would be all over that.
Pulling up some YouTube references
Absolutely.
like Joe Rogan there. And
Yeah, I think he'd be all over that.
Yeah, that's AWOC, by the way. Usually joins us on our gambling guides. He also had his own show. May have been in season 2 that Adam Walker was on. And he is going to be at Four Nations Cup. So we're recording this. By the time you hear it, Canada will have played Sweden and the USA. But Walker, AWOC, is going to the Canada-USA game.
as a correspondent
Yeah. He'll be there live.
in the upper deck there.
The upper deck.
But he'll be corresponding with someone, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's a great place. Gotta love Montreal. Was there for the President's Cup, and then was there most recently with Al, who we also had, Big Al McLean, who we also had on the show for the Jets taking on the Montreal Canadiens. So LaBelle Province has been
Episode X.
episode X. Yeah,
Great city.
Insert here. It is a great city. Yeah, we've had some times there too, haven't we? There, Tim.
We have.
We don't need to get into that now. We're all family guys now, which is kind of cool because when we started out, I had a very young daughter, and now Tim, you have a son,
I do.
and Mike, you have a daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
It was
Wow.
crazy. It's a wild turn of events.
Do any of your kids golf?
You know what? I got my little guy in the basement right now, a little plastic set of clubs, and I'm working on that swing, getting the full shoulder turn. He's actually pretty good. He one hands it a lot, but he loves to just hit the ball around and walking around.
Oh, that's great.
He's 14 months, but he's having a good time down
That's
there.
good.
Make
And,
it fun.
and you take him out on the course, I see a couple times, or even to the range, and he seems to be having a great time.
Yeah, it was a lot. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that this year, but it was
Right.
nice last year because he would just get strapped into the golf cart in his car seat, and
Right.
he was having a good time. Yeah, just watching. Usually lasts about 6 holes before he'd start losing his mind, but for those 6 holes, he was having a great time.
Just
That's
eyes
awesome.
open, like, what is it? But that's the biggest point, is make it fun.
Honestly,
even with my daughter, she loves driving the golf cart, and she only had one accident, and now she's taking the cart through the trees at Breezy.
Wow.
So there's some secret paths there, because if you need to skip ahead a few holes,
Right.
because they can't handle it, they're young.
Mm-hmm.
She went boom right through it, turning left,
awesome.
turning right through the trees.
That's
I
great.
was like, sweet. Don't have to teach her how to drive.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
That'll be fun.
She might be the only decent woman driver on the roads. in
Oh,
Winnipeg.
wow.
Sorry. Hitting hard
Jeez.
shots coming off.
Starting off the season with cancellations already.
It's going to get me fired from my job.
No kidding.
Hey, I said it. All right, I said it, and I'll own it.
We still need you to produce.
Kids or the show?
Oh, but
Oh, yeah, you go ahead, Mike.
well, what are you going to get into?
Well, I was saying, speaking of producing, last year, 2024, called you the Scramble champion of the world. Your teams, what is it? Did you take home 2?
We
Two
took home
titles?
three
Took home
titles.
3 titles.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, 2 with the same team, and then the first one was just with a team of shooters that I literally brought nothing to the table. It was great.
So what tournaments was it? Was it the Goats?
Yeah, it was the Goats. We came as the number 1 Goats team, so we actually didn't
Okay.
win the tournament. But
Gotcha,
we came as
gotcha.
the number 1 Goats team,
runner-up overall.
runner-up overall. Right,
Got
we
it.
still got a trophy.
Everyone gets
No
a
big
trophy.
deal. No big deal. And then the first tournament of the year was the Never Alone Foundation tournament. So that was it's like a cancer fundraiser tournament. It's Breezy Bend. So I was with a few guys from work that are actually my business partner, Roman, Ryan Deck, another good golfer, and then Eric Pushka. These guys are just shooters, like scratch golfers. And I was like, me and Roman are both probably a 9 or 10. So we were just hanging out basically and having a good time. And Pushka, this guy, it was crazy watching him golf. He can just shape it and do all the stuff. So it was great. Yeah, so we won that one. And then the third one was the St. James Canucks tournament. So that was the same team from the Ghost tournament.
St. James Junior Canucks. That was at Kingswood, and you also won. Did you win closest? I forget, because we sponsored
Yeah, I did.
a hole
Man,
there,
that was crazy. I'd never been closer to a hole in one in my life, and that was it. It was wild. Yeah, and it was kind of like that downhill par 3 there. I don't know if is it the 7th?
Is it by the
by the-
river or the?
Yeah, it's
whatever
kind
it
of
is,
like
creek?
right by
What's the
that kind of
watershed there?
crossroads where you kind of go across the bridge right after. It's like maybe 130 yards downhill.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of narrow there, but
Yeah.
yeah, it was just like
Not 17 though, right?
No,
No, not 17.
I
no.
want to say it was like the 7th,
Yeah, it's on
6
the
or
front
7,
9.
or
It's
maybe
on the front 9.
maybe 5.
Yeah, I think I know what you mean.
1, 2. I'll count it out here. 3, 4, 5,
Might be
maybe
4.
6, 5 or 6.
Yeah,
Anyways.
it might,
5,
it might be
6,
5 or 6,
79.
Yeah.
But either way, like it
There's
was
so
crazy.
many par 3s over the river. It's hard to hard to remember.
Yeah, it wasn't over a river. It was
No.
just like the downhill. But it rolled. I think it was like 6 inches or 5 inches. It was real close.
Jeez. You took it home, and now you get to golf.
What'd you guys come in at?
Southwood. Oh, yeah.
What was the winning score of that tournament?
At the Canucks tournament, it was minus 18.
Yeah.
And the reason being, at minus 18 sounds insane, but there was a Tommy Miller hole. So basically, you paid a certain amount of money, and you basically started at, I don't know, where'd you start? The 150
Yeah, it was a par 5,
yard,
and you started, I think it was
100
a
yards or something.
out,
Yeah,
or
something crazy like that.
or
So we paid
$120
the
out.
top money, and then we go in there, and so like everyone's getting whatever.
If you didn't get a 2 on that one, then
it's crazy.
Right.
So that's where that extra stroke really came in. So
I think we finished at 17 under.
I was going to ask who was the runner-up.
There was
Yeah,
there was a
we
bunch
were
of
in there.
groups because I'm pretty sure there was like 5 or 6 groups that were all 17 under.
Yeah, shout out to Roy E. Munson.
Yeah. I heard
Paul Gray.
I heard we were
and Graham
getting just
Jones.
trashed around the pool. Our names are getting thrown
Oh,
through the
yes,
mud
you were.
by all
Yeah.
those guys. And
Yeah.
rightfully
I had no
so.
part
I
in
mean,
that.
yeah. Hey, that's totally fair. Can you imagine though having a big playoff at the end of that? Like that would have been something like 6 teams,
teams, yeah,
going
that
up
would've
and
been huge.
having a playoff on one hole or something. That would have been actually a lot of fun.
Yeah. Well, the Goats tournament, there was a playoff.
Yes.
That's right.
And,
Yeah, you guys were watching there corresponding and
We were running
Not a
out
lot
of
of-
light, I think.
not a lot of good shots off that tee
No.
too.
No.
It was not good.
Well, it was a miserable
It was
day.
miserable.
That's true.
Pouring rain, gale
Shout out
force
to Bell
winds.
Acres
Yeah.
opening it up for the Goats tournament. So I'm assuming that's going to be coming up again this year
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah, B-Way's all over that. That's like
Yeah.
his baby. So
Yeah.
because it's huge. Like it's huge now. It's a big
yeah,
deal.
it's big. Yeah.
Everyone should do their best and lobby Andrew Blanchette on making sure that happens again this year.
Honestly, I think it's just a good excuse for B-Way to make a pie chart, and he's real into pie charts.
And a good laminated spreadsheet.
A laminated spreadsheet, he loves it. So I think for that reason alone, it's coming back.
Good. It better be because I'm looking forward to it. I know we already got a bunch of teams that are ready and willing to get out there and have a great time on the course.
Absolutely.
And again, shout out to B-Way. It's very, very well
It's
put
well
together.
done. Like that guy kills it every year. It's insane what he's done. Like every
Amazing
year it gets
prizes,
better and better. Yeah, it's
Amazing
crazy.
food, Bell Acres, like just everything is phenomenal. Smitty's, don't we go to Smitty's before and after?
Yeah, there's a bus
service
to and from. It's unreal.
Incredible.
Yeah. Kills it.
Well, we have an after party till 3 a.m.
Yeah, every year I go to Smitty's and I'm there and I'm like, oh, what am I doing here?
Yeah.
I'm like, I do not need to be in
Home
public
by-
at this time. Yeah.
Home by 10 o'clock, 9:30.
Yeah. I think I was gone every year by 10 o'clock. I'm like, I gotta get out of here.
Yeah,
This is crazy.
they politely asked us to leave, I believe, last year. But anyways, shout out to AWOC. Yeah, no part in that whatsoever.
So do you think Tim, did you get significantly better, it seems like, in the last 2 years? And what do you think caused this? Or like, you didn't get any lessons? You just been playing more?
Yeah, you know what? It's been a couple things. Like I don't by any means think I'm a superstar by any means, but it definitely have improved my swing, and it was a couple different things. So I found this guy on YouTube. I remember I kept shanking the ball or pushing it, or I couldn't hit a ball straight. I was just like struggling one year. And I was like, what am I doing here? So I just looked up like how to hit a ball straight with an iron or whatever. And I found this guy. He's like this goofy guy, and there's Segudo Golf. He's just this crazy guy, big head of hair. He's wild. Like,
Oh, yeah,
you
yeah.
watch his videos, he's hilarious. But I watched one video from him, and it just like ran true as like releasing the club low and left instead of like full swing over my shoulder or whatever I was doing. And when I started doing that, keep my hands more square and just releasing low and left kind of, it really changed my trajectory, and I was hitting the ball a lot straighter. And I literally just ran with that. And then this year I got a lab putter, and like that is like an absolute cheat code. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Like that thing is like so accurate from like 10 feet in. Like I'm confident, like.
Yeah. Well, I was
That's a
going
big
to
part of
say, we first saw the lab putters in 21, Colwyn Abgrell.
Yeah.
Season 1, episode 9. I wrote that down.
Wow, golf tech's finest.
Colwyn Abgrell, and he had the big
That's what I got.
extraterrestrial.
Yeah, that's what I got. Like the DF
UFO,
2.1.
yeah.
Yeah, it's an ugly looking putter, but like it is great.
Yeah.
I'll never go back for sure.
If it works.
Yeah,
and it
honestly,
seems to work
like,
for a lot of people. It's becoming more and more popular. I don't know if anyone's playing it on tour. I'm sure someone.
I think there's a couple.
Someone
I saw something the other day. Someone was playing it in the waste management there.
Oh, okay. That would make a lot of sense. 'Cause, it does. Once you have it in your hand, you're like, what?
Yeah, well, I think a lot of
What is
now
this
companies are doing with that like lie angle balance technology. So I think a lot are getting into it now. So I'm sure there'll be a whole bunch of putters that are going to be kind of similar.
Yeah, because they got a blade version as well.
Oh, do
which
they? I
I've
didn't know
looked
that.
at.
Yeah,
Okay.
they got a few. They got like the Mez. They got the yeah. They have a new one now. It is like a blade.
I've considered, but
You're a PXG guy, though.
I have my PXG. I'd still like to get a putter fitting with the golf professor there, Professor Derek Goodwin.
Oh, yes.
Because I think that would be interesting. Because everyone gets fitted for irons and drivers, but you don't hear or see a lot of people get fit for a putter.
Yeah.
So I think that'd be cool if we could do a little session with Mr. Goodwin there, if he has time for us. And then maybe I'd purchase whatever he suggested. I will do anything that he says.
Shout out to Derek Goodwin.
But so you found that the lab putter have you reduced the amount of putts per round? Your what is the term? The strokes gained.
Strokes gained. That's been
reduced?
the big thing.
It's
Lots
a
of
stat.
strokes
I don't
gained.
know. I don't know.
I'm not sure what the stat strokes gained means, but definitely, like honestly, like a 2-putt is like a 3-putt is very rare, I would say.
Wow.
I'm sure it still happens. Like obviously it's not perfect,
Yeah.
but like a 2-putt is pretty standard. And like it took a little bit. I remember I played the first round. I got it with you, and it was weird. We played at where did we play Players? Because we got rained out at the Bone that one day. It was like a hurricane, and I was having a good round though, and it's so it was tough because like we went back to finish.
You were like +1 maybe after 7.
I think it was, I think it was after 7.
And
I think I
then-
bogeyed 7 too, and I was
and
like,
then they blew the horn. We probably hit drives on 8. The horn blew. The fairway's underwater. So we're like, okay, let's. The guy came out. I think he's like, guys, you got to get off the course. Okay, so we get off. We go into what's up? I forgot the lounge there is called Christina's or something. Christine's at the Players. But so we go there, have a beer, and then should we go back out? Should we go back out? And they weren't really allowing people back out, and
no.
And we don't like to not follow the rules. We don't usually do this, but when you're having the round of your life,
So
we go
a
back
good round,
to 8. I think we found our drives or where they
and
were.
I remember our second shots were literally out of a lake, basically.
Yeah.
And it was absurd. It was like, and it started pouring too. Because I remember it was like gale force pouring rain in my face, and I was like, I remember I was hitting the ball. I'm like, this is absolutely madness. Like, what are we doing here? But had to finish. Hit the second shot. I think the guy drove out. And he's like, guys, like get off the course. Like this, I'm gonna get in a lot of trouble. Like basically, like get out of here.
Right. Pretty well.
But yeah, that was the first round with the lab there, so I was still getting used to it. But honestly, just you got to try it. It's kind of weird when you hold it because you have to basically like I went through a bunch of different putting grips trying it, but basically you have to hold it really lightly because essentially if you have any torque in your hands like you usually do trying to keep a putter straight, it will kind of off kilter it, whereas the putter will stay straight.
Oh, okay.
If you just give it a nice light grip and a swing. So it's honestly like a cheat code. It's crazy.
There you go. Sold me. That and or get fitted by Derek Goodwin.
That's
apparently.
right.
I know that sold Mike on it.
Well, yeah, there's so many people just buy a putter based on its look, and they don't really know why.
That's part of it.
Yeah. So
Look and feel.
look and feel and price. Marketing. Good marketing usually gets me.
Yeah, for sure.
Always a sucker for
I
the
got
marketing.
a fleet of putters in my basement. For
I
those
do-
exact reasons.
Bring them out.
And you got a putting mat. So how often
Oh,
are you
yeah.
putting down in the basement?
You know what?
there?
I'm putting pretty often down there, at least every few days. Yeah.
Okay.
Because like that's where the little sports arena I have set up for my little guy down there. So we're down there quite often. He's running amok down there. I send some putts. He comes and messes up the mat and knocks a bunch of stuff over and hits
Of
the
course.
golf balls under the couch. But yeah, no, I'm still putting down there.
We take a quick break to hear from Bryce Madlashewski, who is an investment advisor with Endeavor Wealth Management, part of IA Private Wealth, and a member of the Canadian Investor Protection Fund.
Well, Bryce, it's great to have you on and to have a quick chat. My first question is, what can an investment advisor like yourself from Endeavor Wealth do for me, and how can that differ from my current experience of trading with Wealthsimple, just based on the recent Twitter feeds?
Yeah, thanks so much for having me on, you guys. Yeah, discount brokers like Wealthsimple certainly have their place, but at the end of the day, you get what you pay for. Those platforms are very limited in what they offer, and they're more ideal for just basic trading. So if that's what you're looking to do, it's really not a bad platform for that. But what we do at Endeavor, we take a more holistic approach. We examine an individual's needs, both short-term and long-term, and we go way beyond just investments. We look for tax opportunities, ensuring the decisions you are making today minimize your overall tax that you might be paying. We also help our clients address estate and insurance needs. So really anything we can do to assist in your overall wealth management approach. And going back to some of those discount brokers and things that you see on the internet, a lot of times people don't realize the amount of intrinsic risk that they're taking on with making some of those trades. And so finding balance is another key thing that we do for our clients at Endeavor.
That was Bryce Madlashewski, who is an investment advisor with Endeavor Wealth Management, part of IA Private Wealth, and a member of the Canadian Investor Protection Fund. You can contact Bryce at 204-515-3446.
Well, do you play any of the sim golf? Because we had you out at Fourth Line. I forget what it was, if it was maybe a week or two ago now. Mm-hmm. Do you play a lot of that in the winter?
You know what? Not really.
Yeah,
no,
okay.
I don't really play much on the Sims. No,
Okay.
you know what? That was a good experience, though. I feel like I want to get back into the Fourth Line there. What a place!
Yeah.
What a setup they got. So I'd like to.
Shout out to the Silver Fox, Dave Alberton.
Oh yeah.
What a service that guy provides. Anytime he's around, he's there, looking sharp, serving you another beer or Caesar. Great mix, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Oh yes, yeah. On top of that, and believe it or not, well, this is not a Dave Alberton episode, but he was on a volleyball scholarship, I think, to the U of W back in the day.
Mm-hmm. Really?
Yeah.
He does have a
big
nice
volleyball guy.
Volleyball physique.
I believe it.
Didn't work out for him, but hey, now he's at Fourth Line, helping us out.
Mm-hmm. We talked about the lab putter.
Yeah.
What else you got in the bag?
Oh yeah.
You know what? My bag's kind of weird, and I'm not talking about my regular bag, which also is kind of weird. We can get into that later.
We can get into that later.
We can touch
We have
base on
questions
that
about that.
Yeah. Gotta talk
Don't
about
worry.
your bag. No, my golf bag's kind of strange actually. It's so I have a sim driver, sim 2 driver, 8 degree, extra stiff shaft. Then I got Callaway Apex irons. I actually just switched this year to, so I had the Apex Pro forged blades.
Ooh.
And I just switched this year to cavity back. So they have like a deep cavity back Apex Callaway iron, which I like. It's a little bit more forgiving, and I don't really shape the ball, so I try to just hit it straight.
Yeah.
So I switched to those irons, and I just have one wedge. I have a 56 wedge and a putter. No hybrids, no 3-wood. I go driver 3-iron, and then 156 wedge for like everything.
And you're good?
And then a putter. Yeah, that's it. It's kind of weird, but
That's cool. I like the 56 wedge thing,
Yeah, I use that literally from 110 to beside the green.
I was going to say, you must have it figured out then with the different swings.
Yeah, no,
different-
I love that thing. Like pitching,
three-quarter
like,
swings,
and like
all of it.
even if I'm like an inch on the fringe at the green, I'll chip. Like I never putt.
Yes.
I just love chipping. I love that. So
You
like,
do.
yeah, love that wedge.
How long have you had that one?
I buy a new one every year, but it's
Oh, you
just
do?
like
Okay.
the what is it? It's like the Cleveland ATX or whatever it is.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good thing to have.
A new wedge every year.
Yeah, well, they usually have that sale. It's not an expensive wedge. It's like $120 or
And
something.
they wear out, I guess. pretty
yeah,
good.
you lose the
when you're
grooves a
only
bit.
using one wedge, I guess.
Yeah.
But I there was a PGA pro, I think, who was trying to make a case for, why do you have a 60 degree, a 56, and a 52?
Yeah.
Like
I tried the 60 one year and I just bladed it constantly.
yeah.
And I was
Right.
I think I tried a few rounds. I'm like, I'm never using this again. So
It's an acquired taste.
right.
yeah, I just don't have the hands for it, I guess. I'm not
You
sure.
gotta It's all about the grind and the bounce.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know anything about those things, but
No, we've tried to ask people.
I don't know anything about
I
that.
think people have mentioned that a few times on the show, and we just forget.
Yeah,
We try. I
I've
feel
looked
like
at that.
we've
I'm like, I
tried
don't even know what
to,
I'm looking at. Like,
Yeah. We've tried to. I feel like I've asked pros that they're like club fitters this, and they're like, they just BS us. Nobody actually knows
Marketing.
what bounce
all marketing.
and grinds are. Just
It
kidding.
sounds good, though. It's great marketing.
Only Derek Goodwin knows.
Wow. Derek Goodwin's getting a lot of love this episode.
I want to meet this guy.
Yeah. Yeah, well, he was actually after the St. James Junior Canucks tournament, he was in the pool where people were talking shit about you and your team.
Nice. Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah.
He knew nothing about it. So there you go. It's all coming together. 1 degree.
Beautiful.
1 degree of
He probably doesn't
golf
have
here.
a good mention of my name. At this
No,
point.
yeah,
It's too
no,
bad.
yeah. He's probably not. Yeah, thinking highly of you at this point.
The one guys that come in with minus 18, it sounds so absurd. Like even saying, I'm like, guys, like this is insane. Like,
Yeah. But it is a good point, right? You mentioned there was that Tommy Miller hole, so
yeah, the
if you weren't
Tommy
getting an
Miller hole for
albatross
sure.
on that, then
Yeah, for sure.
and you're screwed. So that's where you made it all up. Did you have any more? Well, I was going to jump into some other stuff, but did you have some more around golf there, Mike?
Get it? No,
Yeah.
I'll circle back.
Because I mean, we talked about you being a realtor, but also, and I would say this is the main gig. You're a firefighter.
That's
you're
right,
a fireman.
yeah.
So how did you get involved in that?
You know what? Similar to golf, it was my old man was a firefighter,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, growing up, always seeing him, he was always happy and always expressed he loved the job. So,
Yeah.
But you know what? I went to take a kid to work day back when they used to do take a
Right.
kid to work days. They let the kids go on the fire trucks. I went there because it was grade 9. I was down at one station with him, and I was riding the fire truck for a day, and it was just awesome, like super fun. And that was just kind of sealed it for me. I'm like, yeah, I'm doing this. So basically had that in my mind from like grade 9 on, and then just followed through with that basically. Yeah.
And to this day,
And to this
Still
day,
doing it.
still doing it 11 years now. So
do you like work
Crazy.
your way up, or like how does that work?
yeah, it's all a reg system. So basically, as you get more senior, you kind of earn your positions more on the truck. So eventually,
Okay.
you're a firefighter, then you're a senior firefighter, then you go to a lieutenant, then a captain, then you can go up to chiefs if you want to go that high.
Okay.
Yeah,
And then what do you do as you go up there? Just less and less work? Is that kind of how it works?
yeah. Well, there's different positions on the truck. So on
okay,
a
okay.
fire truck, there's essentially on a fire engine or fire rescue, there's 4 positions. So there's
Okay.
the most junior guy is the hydrant. So he's like ties the hydrant out of fire. So he'll run, grab the hose, tie the hydrant. Then you got the driver operator. So he'll drive you there. He'll run the pump with the fire truck.
Okay.
Then you have the branchman who sees the guy in the nozzle. He goes into the fire. And then you have the captain and the lieutenant who's like the senior guy in the truck. So you alternate through those positions as you get more senior.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. So right now I'm basically like a branchman now at this point.
Got it. But everyone gets a. Like
Yeah,
you go through
yeah.
those roles no matter what you're doing for your sticking
Exactly.
around
Yeah. As long as you
the
stick
business.
around, you'll eventually earn some sort of accolades for just sticking around. Yeah. Yeah. So it's based on no merit.
Like, who's the guy who drives the chief around?
So that's like a Chiefs driver. So essentially like the Chiefs, so what their job is they'll go to like fires and basically be the incident commander at a fire. So if there's a fire, their Chiefs driver will drive them there while they're working the radio. So they have a Chiefs driver. So that just basically is like it's a firefighter, and it's just they can be basically of any rank. It's just basically you take your turn, and if you're at a Chiefs hall, like where your Chiefs stationed there, so there's 4 different halls where there's Chiefs there, and then they'll just take turns driving the chief.
Nice.
Well, that leads us in, I guess, into guns and hoses a bit. So
Yeah.
by the time this episode comes up, the actual game will have already been played. But we will have a link in the link tree, so you can still support it, I'm sure, throughout the year. And then your realtor partner, he's been doing the media circuit.
Yeah, Roman, he's an absolute workhorse.
So also a firefighter.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so we actually got hired together, back together 11 years ago. We were actually like one reg driver off, sat together in class,
No
just
way.
met there. And so he brought this tournament back. So it's been like a 30-year tradition, this tournament, Guns and Hoses. It died off for a few years, and then he brought it back, myself and him, a couple years ago. And then this year he's really blown it up. And it's at Canada Life Center. Like,
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah, I think he's already raised like $40,000 for charities. Like it's
Wow.
crazy. It's blown up. So it's great.
So the charity component, is it for a bunch of different charities then?
Yeah, so basically how it works is like the cops have a charity, the
Yep.
firefighters have a charity, and then there's like a main charity. And whoever wins, 60% of the donations go to their charity, and then the losers get 40% for their charity. So our charity is Never Alone Foundation. That's like a cancer one for firefighters. It's pretty near and dear to myself for sure, and then also Roman and the fire department. And then the cops charity is, I believe it's Project 11.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
And then the main sponsor is Special Olympics. So there's 3 charities involved this year. And yeah, it's all for a good cause, good family events. So, and it's a great hockey game. Like the rivalry runs deep. Like obviously we all work together.
A lot of good
on the
players
streets,
too that are on the,
man, yeah, it's
the
crazy
police
good
and for
hockey.
firefighters. Yeah.
It's crazy. Like there's some high caliber hockey players.
Are you on the team, Tim?
I am not on the team. Like, yeah, no, I'll be supporting from the sidelines.
You'll be doing the 50-50, just collecting the money in the stands.
Yeah, no, I'll be on the sidelines for this one. But no, Roman's on the team though. He's representing the tradesmen realtors on the team. So
Nice.
yeah, but yeah, we're also a title sponsor there too. So
Oh, great. Well, good for you guys. And maybe that's also part of it too. Then what got you into real estate?
yeah, well, that was just man. You know what, real estate. I fucking love that stuff. It's real fun. Yeah, and I've loved it for a long time. So basically, right when I was 18, I kind of got interested. Read a couple books about rentals and stuff like that. And then, I bought my first house with Eric Yo, the Golden Bear.
Yozy.
I don't know if he listens, but shout out to the Golden Bear.
Well, I'm sure he does. Does now.
And we bought our first house. We flipped it, sold it, kind of got the taste there. And then
Where was that one again?
it was
Remind
on
me.
Emerald Grove. It was a great house. The neighbors all probably hated us. We were 2 young 20-something guys just bought this house. We had a bathtub in our front lawn for like 6 months, renovating the bathroom. First thing we did was bought like a $10,000 hot tub. The shingles were in desperate need, but we bought a brand new hot tub. So great times. And then, like I had just got hired at the fire department. I just finished my carpentry apprenticeship. So I just got my journeyman ticket, but I just got hired in the fire department, moved into this house, flipped it, sold it. We're like, wow, this is awesome. Then I started getting into duplexes. And, honestly, I always thought about it for years. I'm like, I should have got my real estate license. This would be so fun. Like, I love this. And like, I was calling realtors and like negotiating some deals. And like, I wasn't even a realtor. I was just negotiating my own deals, trying to, and it was just like fun. I loved it. Right. And so then it just basically turned into, myself and Roman. I met up with him for a beer one time or text him. And I said, hey man, like, what do you think about this? Like, I always kind of thought I wanted to do it as like a side kind of gig, and it was a passion project, but I needed a guy on an opposite shift to do it with. Because essentially if I'm working, he's off, and he's working, I'm off. So we always have someone for like clients. He was into it. And then, we kind of just did that, brought the trade experience into real estate.
Well, I think that's a big thing too. And also with the beer, which is, again, I mentioned at the top of the show, I haven't had it, and it's delicious. This is very good.
Yeah,
so
honestly, great beers.
Namesake.
Namesake is unreal. Yeah, they got great beers.
The tradesman name is, so you mentioned carpentry. So you've done it. You've been there, done it.
Yeah.
You know what you're talking about.
Exactly. So like I'm a carpenter by trade. Got my journeyman ticket, and Roman is a painter as well. He's a journeyman painter, interior designer. So throughout the years, like before we got into the real estate stuff, we actually did a lot of side jobs together, a lot of renovations. I managed a house build. I done a couple duplexes now, infills. He did the same thing. Like he managed a couple builds. So we're like, we always had this trades background of doing all these trades jobs and builds and whatever. And we just kind of decided like, hey, why don't we try to bring trades into real estate? We kind of saw a hole there where a lot of times, nothing against realtors, obviously, but a lot of times I would go and, talk to realtors, and it would just be, no one really had a lot of trades knowledge. I'm like, this is kind of crazy. Like, why don't we have trades guys selling real estate rather than just whatever, a salesman, right? So that's kind of what we're trying to bring to the table. Like we know brick, stick, and mortar, and kind of bring that knowledge into real estate now. So yeah, we've been at like a year and a half now. It's been going really well.
And with who we haven't had on the show, Mr. Social Savvy.
Oh, Jesse Peters.
Love Jesse.
Jesse Peters.
The original social savvy realtor.
Yeah.
That's my old realtor.
That's
It is legit. Yeah, he was one of my first realtor. Yeah, he's great.
And one of the first people that started using social media and video in a way to promote real estate.
Yeah, he was like
now
the
it's
trailblazer.
so normal, right?
Yeah.
Where
Everyone
at the
does
time,
it,
5 years ago, was just like, what's this guy doing? He's crazy.
Yeah.
And he is still crazy, but he's he's a pioneer of the social media.
Maybe he can be our intern.
Yeah, well, hopefully he'll come on the podcast. I'm sure he's got some great
sponsored
stories.
at Assiniboine Golf Club.
Absolutely.
You can find him on the golf cart.
Well, you know who else might be a sponsor of Assiniboine? Tradesman Group.
Oh, there we go.
I would love
Get
to.
in
Yeah.
there.
No, I was talking to Rob about that last year, so I'm hoping I can do that this year for sure.
Yeah, might as well. Well,
Love that course.
I thought you said you were. Oh, that's all right. I didn't mean to segue. Now I've
you're calling him out now?
cornered you.
No,
in.
well, I have mentioned it to Rob, and I do want to do it, but there's nothing concrete in
negotiating.
writing. Yeah, I'm not sure. I think Rob was on his 5th joint when I talked to him about it on the golf course. So I'm not sure if he was serious or not. Maybe cut that out.
But you got great, you yourself
knows, Rob.
and Roman, you got great social media. You're on the reels. You got how many? You're one of your recent reels there, and you were giving tips on doors.
Yeah, doors
what
of
to put in
doors?
your renovation for doors.
Yeah.
and you had like I don't know how many views.
Oh man, you know what? I have to look, but the last time I looked last week, it had like 550,000 views, which is crazy.
For
And
door.
it was so crazy, man. So it's so funny. It was just like, I don't know, like the social media thing. I honestly don't really like the social media thing, but it's so necessary with like real estate. And I was kind of on my way out on social media, and then I got into this. I'm like, well, I have to get into this. So, and you know what? I've started to kind of enjoy it, but the tradesman tips. We kind of just like, I was just at Home Depot one day. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna start filming some random stuff and just like stuff like that. It just comes really natural with that stuff, right? Because that side of stuff I know very well, construction, renovation. So it's like, hey, if you're gonna do a renovation, don't use this, use that. And I put one out there was like flooring, and it was like the first time I got like a ton of people just like messaging me about it and talking to me about it, and I'm like, oh, cool, like people like this stuff. Okay, so I made a few more, and then it was just this random door one. It was so weird. It was like, don't use this 6-panel door. They're old, like use a 2-panel. It's more modern. Like that's it. It was just like this most simplest video. And like one day I was just like at work, and I was just like, I remember I was like looking at my phone. All of a sudden my phone just starts like buzzing. I'm like, what's going on here? I look, and it was like 67 likes on this thing. And I'm like, okay, whatever. Don't even look at it. It's like, and it was TikTok just blowing up. I don't even know anything about TikTok. I just throw TikToks out there, and for some reason it just got caught in this algorithm, and it just and then like, but I looked at lunchtime, I was like 50,000 views. I'm like, okay, that's kind of crazy. And I was like 100,000 views, 200,000, 300,000. I'm like, holy fuck, this is crazy. Like, what the fuck's going on? Like, I don't know what's going on here. Like, yeah, and it was a wide variety of comments. Some positive, and then some people just ripping on my door comment. I'm like, all right, these doors suck. All right, both those doors suck. Hey, thanks for the comment. Thanks for the input. Yeah,
That's great.
yeah, it's pretty funny.
I just wanted to film at Home Depot.
Yeah,
Social media is tough, and I think JR and myself have found it tough even for the podcast.
But it's a necessary evil, as you kind of mentioned,
for
right?
sure,
Like you kind of have to do it. They got a
I
stranglehold.
think we
on
have
it.
Big time,
4 reels.
Yeah,
We got to get more reels.
got to get more reels.
We need a real intern.
more live Instagram. Maybe I'll go Instagram live on Sports Night every week.
you guys should film this on video. Get some video.
We
of this.
should.
It'd be
We
cool.
should,
And then
and
you
yeah,
just
we've
make
been-
little snippets of the videos.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
we don't got the time to do that.
We got day jobs.
We got day jobs. We got to worry about tariffs. We got to worry about dogs. We got to worry about kids. Got to worry about getting in our golf. I don't think so. Mike and I, we're digressing here a little bit, but we're in the Winter League at Fourth Line, so they have golf leagues, and we've maybe played together twice.
3 times.
3 times, okay.
But yeah, I've been unavailable sometimes.
Been traveling.
Traveling for work and
And JR's been sandbagging with Preston.
Yes, that was one time. All right, that was one time.
Cam.
made $96.
hell of
Take
a
that.
swing.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
great
Watching
player.
that guy
Unbelievable.
golf like
Yeah.
a couple weeks ago.
Isn't that a
we went-
treat?
It was a treat. Yeah. What a ball striker.
Yeah.
Fucking flying
Breezy
at
Ben's
like
finest.
295 is absurd.
And end of the roll, which I just found out. So Hecla, actually, we may have mentioned this somewhere else, but Hecla, they have virtual golf now.
Oh yeah.
So there's like this area. If you know the resort there at Hecla, if you go in, it's to the right. So you check in to the left and you go to the right. There was like a bunch of chairs and maybe there was a banquet hall or something. I don't know.
It was
what
a
the hell
banquet
back
hall.
there,
I think they would do weddings in there maybe or something.
Oh.
I'm not sure.
Well, now that's virtual golf.
That's
Oh,
great.
that's great. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's unreal.
Especially
And
for
then
the winter.
End of the roll,
Even in the
Cam. No
summer.
free ads. They did all the carpeting in there, all the tile carpeting. So shout out to Cam.
Oh,
End of the roll. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Again, small world. Never know.
End of the roll.
Yeah, that's all I got about that. Do you want to talk about gambling?
Sure. Gambling, yeah, great times gambling.
Because we're gonna have the gambling guide coming out again soon, and AWOC will be on.
Yeah. What's the first tournament?
Masters.
I guess it
will
would be the
coming up
Masters.
coming up in
yeah,
April.
that's right.
But you can
Love
already
the Masters.
put money on it. But like
Who's
how
your
long?
pick? Who's your pick?
I put an enhanced win on Nick Taylor outright.
Nice. Yeah, you've been hot on the Nick Taylor. You've been picking him every week.
every week.
So I've been
him and
following
Aaron
what you've been
Cockrell.
doing. Yeah. Yeah.
Him and Aaron Cockrell got to keep
Thigala.
it straight with yeah.
He's been going hard. Yeah. Sahith, you've been going hard on him.
yeah.
I
And
followed
Seth
you
now.
last week. You put one in there. Like, I don't know what you were up to. It was like 2 a.m, like ride or die or something like that. I'm like, it was Sahith and Nick Taylor to be top 5. I'm like, I'm following JR.
Yeah,
he knows his
didn't happen.
stuff. Like they
think
both finished sub 50.
Yeah. You never know.
You never know though. It was great.
No, you never know. I think the only thing I've been up on so far has been Champions League soccer from randomly.
Yeah, love that.
No, golf's been even. But anyways, we'll have more on that coming up. But
Yeah.
like when did you start into that? Because it seems like you're pretty good degenerate when it comes to gambling.
You know what? Degenerate is a
sports.
strong word, but I do enjoy some sports betting here and there. It's fun. You know, it's funny, man, and like this all kind of ties back into like, you know, the Movember stuff. But
Right, yeah.
it was actually literally my first bet I ever made was literally right after my surgery, and I was laying in the Grace there after the surgery, and I was on a bunch of fentanyl or morphine, whatever they had me on for painkillers, and it was like 3 a.m, and I was listening to some podcast, and they said something about Matthew Wolff in this golf tournament. So I threw a bet on Matthew Wolff, never bet ever, and then that bet was like $400. It was like, I'm like, oh nice, like, this is easy, yeah. And then like,
That's how they get
and
you.
then I was like laid up on the couch for like 2 months. 'Cause I couldn't walk or do anything, right? It's like, so then I started betting on football and this, that, and the other, and then I was just basically got into fantasy.
Slippery slope.
Slippery slope, yeah. So I blame cancer. But yeah, no, it's a lot of fun, man.
Well, before we get into that, we'll have to mention. So we did go on a little boys trip down to Minneapolis, and we did win some money. So that's what got me
That's
into
right.
it, right? 'Cause
Yeah,
it was
that
like
was awesome.
Easy
yeah.
game. I think we each
How
put
fun
50
was
bucks
that?
in it.
Right?
Yeah.
That was great.
And it was wild. We had to leave our section because there was a lot of families up there.
Yeah, that's right.
And we just went down, and man, what a stadium, US Bank Stadium.
Yeah, that place is awesome.
Mm-hmm. And the people there were great. You get a bunch of freebies. Tailgating was great. And then, we won a bunch of money. So even better.
Yeah, it was great.
Icing on the cake.
Yeah, Miney and Levy, shout out to those guys.
Yeah.
In the lab the whole way down. I think that was the whole conversation. For
It
like
was actually
6
true, yeah.
hours picking the perfect props to put in a parlay and listening to everyone's reasoning behind it. It was basically Miney and Levy just talking themselves in and out of props, and me and JR in the back seat just listening. And
You could have
throwing in our 2
You could have
cents.
had a podcast.
We could have.
Oh, honestly, that would have been. I don't
Mic'd
think
up the
anyone
truck.
would have wanted to listen to it, but it was a great ride down. It's fun.
Yeah, and it was a almost damn near deadly ride down there. We almost didn't make it down
That's
there.
right. That was sketchy.
We had to fire.
That was real
I don't
sketchy.
know what unit the fire was down by Morris there, but we had some semis in the ditch.
Oh yeah, that was crazy.
Right.
It was like sheer
it was
ice.
snowing, blowing snow.
blowing snow, and it was like literally just sheer ice. Like, I don't know. Like, there's a couple times that Lincoln Navigator, that Miney,
Right.
somehow got
weaseled his way into.
his in-laws to let him borrow for the weekend, but it was like sideways a few times,
Yes.
and like I was like, oh boy, like this is.
Meanwhile, we're
sketchy.
talking about gambling the entire time.
Oh yeah. Nicotine pouches and gambling the whole way down.
Do what you got to do. Actually, it was funny when you mentioned when you're cleaning the fire hall there. You know.
Yeah, I sent you that Snapchat. Yeah, that's so funny. I was sweeping up and pushing the dry mop around every day. 9 o'clock we do duty, so you have to clean the hall or whatever, and just sweeping around blind and lift it up to put the dustpan. There's like 6 nicotine pouches on the floor. I'm like, holy! I think this is an issue. I think this is an issue. Department wide, a lot of nicotine users. Yeah, it's actually
Winnipeg sending out a
oh,
memo.
it's crazy. Yeah, it's absurd. Yeah.
But that's impressive. Impressive gambling, whatever. But we will have the gambling guides coming up again this year. Hopefully, AWOC will be back. I mean, if not, I know we got a huge trough to choose from of people who've been out and about and gambling. You touched on, cancer, starting it off, and even mentioning, Guns and Hoses and the charity work that you and Roman do for that. But Movember, definitely a big thing with you. I remember, that part of your life was, well, I mean, maybe you can talk about it. It must have been pretty wild.
Yeah, you know what? It was pretty wild. Yeah, it was 2020, so it was a few years ago now. I'm basically in the clear now. Just did surveillance
First
for
season
5
of the
years.
pod.
Yeah, that's right. First season of the pod. Not a big deal. But it was. It kind of came out of nowhere, and it was just luck of the draw. Really, honestly, I consider myself pretty lucky. But went to the doctor. Always big proponents. Everyone get checked out. But
Yeah,
went to the
checked
doctor
and go see a golf professional for golf. Get your lessons
So
from a golf professional.
get putter fitted. And I never went to the doctor, which is crazy. So for me to go, I went on a whim, asked the doctor, hey, what's going on here? She she checked it out and she's like, you know what? I don't really feel anything. It's all good. Don't worry about it. I'm like, okay. She's like, did you Google the symptoms? I'm like, yeah, I did. She's like, don't do that. I'm like, okay, yeah, you're right. Probably a bad idea. Just all in my head, whatever. And I'm literally like walking out of the doctor's office and she's like, hey, you know what? Just in case, I'll send you for an ultrasound, whatever, just in case. I'm like, okay, cool. And like go home thinking nothing's, forget about it, whatever. Whatever. It's all good. 3 months later, like the ultrasound comes up and I wasn't even going to go. I told my wife, I'm like, I'm not going to, girlfriend at the time. Like, I'm not going to go, whatever. She said it's all good. And I just wasn't planning on going. She's like, just go. Like, you have the appointment, just go. I'm like, okay, yeah, whatever, fine. I went, whatever. Sure enough, go to the appointment, go home, think nothing's the problem. And I remember I was like taking out a door at my rental property. It was like the next day, pulling a door out. I have the door ripped out and like I get a phone call at some weird number. I'm like, okay, what's going on? Hello? Yeah. So this is like on Saturday. Like, yeah. So Monday morning, you're gonna go to the Grace, and we're gonna take your testicle, and
jeez.
Yeah. So that's that. I'm like, what? I'm like, what the
See
fuck?
you Monday.
I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm like, what do you mean? Like, that was it. It was just like, yeah, we have you hooked in for surgery on Monday, and it was like 2 days. I'm like, holy fuck. I'm like, I literally have a door ripped out of this house. I'm like, I gotta put this door in. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, is there not a test? They're like, oh no, that's the test. I'm like, what? I'm like, holy fuck. I'm like, okay, well, I guess that's
Just
that.
straight up, and didn't even call you in to sit you down, but I guess time of
I guess that's what they do. So basically, like, your body can function very well with only one testicle, technically. So if they ever see like a tumor, they don't test it. So essentially, if they have to test it, they can basically do like a biopsy. But if they poke it, basically it runs the risk of like it spreading through your body. So they just lop it off like right then and there. So that's what I did. Went to the hospital, had the surgery, and then they send it away for testing. So you don't really know what it is. So you're just like, okay, was that for nothing? I don't know, like whatever, right? So you're a few days later, they get back the results like, yeah, it was T1A cancer. So, lucky, whatever. But now you're just on surveillance. So we don't know if it's spread. We don't really know. You got to wait a few weeks and you have to go for all the tests. So like those few weeks were kind of like, fuck, like what am I getting myself into? Like, I don't know what's happening. Right. So it was a scary few weeks, but I went back, had the tests, and it hadn't hit lymph nodes or anything. So I was in the clear. It's just like, now you just do blood work and CTs every 3 months for like 5 years. So
oh really? Okay, so you're still
well, it goes down after 3 years. It goes to every 6 months. So I'm still on the 6 month thing, but I'm basically almost done. Basically after 5 years, it goes down % each year if it's coming back. Right. So I'm in a pretty good spot now. So
they do like full body CTs or like
it's like a CT of like your abdomen, abdomen and groin, because where mine was. So
wow.
Yeah, but
that's why
I
you
was
brought
super
up,
lucky.
Yeah, the weird bag at the beginning of the show.
That's
so
right.
We're tying it all together.
Yeah. I'm a one baller.
Hey, that's right. I mean, it's not unusual, right? But and I think now in Movember is bringing more awareness to that, and it's kind of one of those campaigns that really stuck. And every year, I think you do something for it, don't you?
Yeah. So myself and another firefighter at work, we do the Movember shirt campaign with our fire department. So we make a shirt and we sell it to everybody on the job, whoever wants it. All that money goes to Movember Canada. So it's just like a charity thing. And then like for the month of November, our department lets us wear those shirts around the hall and stuff.
Great.
So yeah, it's cool. Yeah.
Nice. We'll have to throw that up in the link tree as well. Just go to our Instagram or Facebook, click on that bio link tree, and we'll be right there. How about that? Mike, you got some more? I know you got some more. You got a
I got lots of stuff
before we get into
well,
the
we talk a little bit about injuries. We'll get into injuries.
Oh, yes.
Because I know
Nice.
you struggled through some injuries.
Oh, God.
I probably won't get as deep into this or rip you as hard as some other people would, but
I've been known to be injured in the past.
Especially it's your shoulder. You had some shoulder issues, and I want to know, have you got past that? Are you 100% on that? And
I feel like I was never breastfed as a child. My mom says she did, but I don't think I was, because I've been riddled with injuries since as long as I can remember. I'm like an inbred, some sort of burnadoodle that is just riddled with injuries that, I don't even know what the deal is, but I've had horrible luck with injuries. So thanks for bringing it up, Mike. Let's dive in.
All right.
Did Levy put you up to this?
He did not. I did reach out to Levy and told him you were going to come on, and he was silent and did not have anything. And I didn't. Even
I don't
ask.
believe that for a second.
I didn't even ask.
To say.
He said it should be a great interview, but is your how do you manage? Again, I'm talking about your shoulder specifically, but is your shoulder still injured, and how did you have to change your swing to like manage that, or it will come and go? And
You know what? My shoulder has been I've actually done both shoulders, which is ridiculous.
Whoa,
So, like,
you had
I
both
dislocated.
done. Wow.
I dislocated my right shoulder like 12 years ago playing hockey. You were probably at that game. Dislocated. It came out backwards, which apparently is another thing. It's so ridiculous. The most rarest way you can dislocate your shoulder. Like it only happens to people that it only happens apparently to people get electrocuted or like shocked by like hit by lightning or something absurd. I'm like, what? Like, so like I remember when it happened. I went to the doctor. I went to HSC in my full hockey gear. It was the most ridiculous pain I've ever
Full
felt.
shouldies.
It came out backwards. No, I wasn't wearing shouldies.
Oh, you weren't? Oh,
Yeah,
that's
no,
why.
that's
Okay,
why I wear
yeah.
them now, right?
Yeah.
I
It
thought you
came
had
out-
the little shells on.
No,
there,
I didn't have
no?
anything. That was
No.
like a year I didn't do
Okay.
it. Sure enough, came out backwards, and it was the most excruciating pain because basically what would happen is your muscles tighten up and it's trying to suck it back into the joint. It was grinding on nerves, and it was. I'm not kidding you. Man. I have a pretty good high like pain threshold. It was absurd how painful this was. It was like every 30 seconds it was like gritting teeth pain. I'm like, oh my god. So anyways, I go to the hospital. I'm there for 8 hours. They x-rayed it like 3 times. Like, yeah, you know what? I think it's just sprained. We're gonna send you home with some Tylenol. And I was like, no, this is like, I'm telling you it's dislocated. I'm telling you this is fine. Like, okay, we'll give you a CT. Like, yeah, it came out backwards. Sorry about that. We never see that. It only happens when people get struck by lightning or something. So popped it back in, whatever, rehabbed it. And then I did my left one as well. Same thing, hockey and work.
Right.
And just,
Wow.
but honestly, they've been really good now. And I just been doing like kettlebells, a lot of kettlebell stuff.
That's
now.
good.
Stabilizing kettlebell stuff, and they've been like great. Knock on wood.
Yeah, well, no, that's good to hear because I'm also struggling through my knee injury right now, and it hasn't really gotten much better in the last 6 months. But yeah, just physio and maybe some surgery in the future, but hopefully avoid the surgery. But important to keep on the physio.
Well, how is that going?
Yeah, what did that MRI say? You ended up going to the doctor and get it read, or because I remember you showed me the paper, but what did the doctor say about it?
Basically, so it was and I'm sure everyone listening at home wants to hear this.
Well, we're getting old. We get injured. We're getting older.
It was like partial MCL tear, an ACL sprain, and then a tear in my meniscus.
Jeez.
And so the meniscus is really what is kind of the lingering injury right now.
But you can still play golf. You just can't play hockey.
Very well. Oh yeah. I haven't skated yet. I'm going to Clear Lake this weekend, so I'm going to do some skating out there on the trails.
Maybe get you back at the Goats for playoffs.
Yeah, maybe.
Why not?
Cardio's way down, but I'm playing at about 20 pounds heavier. But
I feel like cardio was really never your strong suit. If I'm being honest.
That's fair.
Just the big guy on the blue line, one rush, no back check,
Right-handed.
leave a 3-on-1 on Walker, and then that's that.
Just standing.
Change.
Just stand
Get
in
off
front
the
of the
ice.
net chasing people who don't have the puck.
You know what though? You got a nice rush in you every once in a while. You got a nice
That's true.
I had
little
some-
stick handle. and a
I had
couple
some
moves.
nice hands there.
You do.
back
You
in
got
the
a
day.
great set of hands.
But yeah, well, I have a note here. It says fitness athlete, golf specific fitness. So do you ever do? It seems like you work out regularly. You're a great looking gentleman, Tim.
Yeah. Aside
trying
from your
to
brittle body.
trying to regain some friendship here.
Wow, I really appreciate the accolades
Do you
here.
do any golf specific fitness? I know JR got into some golf.
Yeah, fit for golf.
Yeah,
I got
fit
the
for
Is it
app.
really? Yeah.
I've
Is
got
it
Fit
is
for
it
Golf.
pretty good?
It's really good. And then even working with
Prozac.
Zach Thompson.
Oh, yeah?
Who, by the way, he won't tell me. He's been on the show. He was down in the States. He's a pro down in the States. He toured around with Brad Curtin.
Oh, really?
And now he's
Wow.
back with his family. They are actually just up the street, believe it or not. Well,
Let's go
across
see
the way.
him.
Yeah, we should go see him. He's got a
knock on his door.
great gym in his house.
Really? Wow. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
where he does personal training out of his house. But he helped me out a lot, and then also now working with Fit for Golf, the Fit for Golf app.
Interesting.
I think Mackenzie Hughes, he's on the Fit for Golf app.
So what
as
is
well.
it? Just like mobility stuff or what?
It's a little bit of everything, depending on what you want to do. So off
Interesting.
season, say like right now, I'm in a mass program right now.
You know what? I was
So
gonna
just
say you're
building
looking
mass.
a little bulky there. Yeah.
Well, maybe that
In a
is
good
the
way.
beer. I was gonna say.
I look bulkier in a bad way.
Is that what? But yeah, we're working on that. And then when it comes to in season, you can do in season program, which is more about recovery,
Right.
more band work, more resistance work, just keeping that elasticity and the the joints and keeping you good. But it's been fantastic. I've really enjoyed it, and it's just been
Might have to check
good
it
for
out.
overall health. I think.
Sounds great.
Yeah, no free ads.
Yeah.
Should get him on. Should pay for
Yeah.
this. We were talking to speaking of Australia, didn't we talk about Australia at the beginning there? I don't know if it was on the show or not.
Yeah, we did.
But there's a physio guy. There's a physio guy who listens to us in Australia.
Nice.
And he wants to come on the pod.
Really?
Sweet.
Sweet. That's
Yeah.
unreal.
Yeah.
Down
I've
under.
seen that. We've had
Down under.
some big listenerships in
Big listener. And
in Australia there.
Yeah, so
Figured
shout
that
out.
was due to Sandy Kursiba and the mark that he left on that continent.
and our pod. Yeah.
We should get Sandy back on, actually.
We should actually. I have that in one of my notes. But anyways, we're getting off topic again.
Yeah,
which we
well,
typically do
that's
here.
all I had.
Well, golf
Busy
fitness
day
programs.
with tariffs and stuff, so I couldn't deep dive on too much of Tim's past. We won't bring up his band. or
I was
anything.
gonna mention. I thought that may have come up in the back nine lightning round, but we got a fantastic artist too across from us.
We can
both
play it on
guitar and vocalist.
the play out. Is that what they call it? Or the
Oh yeah, that's what we should do.
on the end of
Get
the
some
show.
0.3 on there. We can find you
Not a
somewhere.
bad idea. You know, I
Yeah.
can hook you up. Yeah, I'll get some
Somebody
Levy
played at Levy's
Levy.
wedding.
bag of cats getting beaten with a hammer or Levy singing.
He's probably not going to listen to the show anyway,
yeah,
so
he's
yeah,
not
don't worry
gonna-
about it. No. There's no way his attention span is going to keep
Zero
him
chance.
going until an hour into the show.
Actually, we have him on the line right now.
That's right, yeah. Let's call him in. I got my phone hooked up here. We should.
Should actually call him.
We should have. It's
Okay, well, then let's get into the back nine lightning round. Let's
Yeah.
throw out there, hey, maybe next time it'll be for tradesmen. We don't know, but right now it is for Bryce Malashewski, who is an investment advisor with Endeavor Wealth Management, part of IA Private Wealth, and a member of the Canadian Investor Protection Fund. You can contact Bryce at 204-515-3446. You can also check him out in our link tree. Just go to our Instagram or Facebook page, click on that bio, and we got all those links there for you. We'll have some stuff for Movember. We'll have some stuff for Guns and Hoses. We'll get all the good shit in our link tree.
yeah.
18 over par pod. You'll find us.
Bryce. Have you talked to Bryce? Where's Bryce in the world these days?
Yeah, we had lunch.
Oh yeah.
We had lunch about 3 weeks ago.
Where'd you go?
Yeah, where'd you go?
I forget where it was.
Forget
but
where
he
you
was-
went to lunch? I remember where I've gone to lunch in the last 6 years.
Yeah,
every day.
My memory is terrible. I can't remember names. Can't remember where I had lunch. CTE.
Same.
I got beat up a lot when I was younger. I'm a small defenseman. I got the shit kicked out of me a lot.
You should join the Goats.
Well, you don't play at the right times for me.
Oh, we'll change.
Yeah, you'd be a great addition to the Goats.
I would love to play. I got asked to play the opener, but yeah. Anyways, we did go for lunch. I don't know where he is now in the world, but after lunch, he showed up late. He's like, "Oh, I would have bought for you." I'm like, "Of course, that's what they always say."
It's a
But
classic.
I was here and I was hungry, so I ordered before you showed up.
Great. Well,
And then he left and never saw him or heard from him again.
We'll have to get around in with Bryce at the newly renovated St. Charles.
I actually have that. So we have a spreadsheet of podcast guests, and I have a list of people we need to golf with that have been on the pod and we haven't golfed
Nice.
with yet. Bryce is still one of them.
Wow.
Yeah.
St. Charles member. That's a
Yes,
nice course.
St. Chuck's.
And Corey Cartouche invited us he said he'd invite us for a media day. So hopefully he hears this or
it'd be
somebody
nice
gives him a
to
reminder.
come play the revamped,
The new Ross and
the new
the new
Mackenzie.
Mackenzie.
Are you
And
doing
maybe the new
Southwood
Woods.
again this year?
Yep.
Yeah, nice.
Well, because I owe you around there.
I was gonna say you better pony up. Better pony up on that round.
That's the only reason.
Yeah,
But we're
a
gonna
great
actually,
course.
Yeah. Oh, it certainly is. Yeah, I'll be back
hell
there.
of a
but
practice facility too.
that's
It's
the main
unreal.
reason why I'm
Yeah.
there. It's really close to
Love
Great
that
my
looking
9 to
pro.
5, and
Yeah.
steeper. Great looking pro. We got Romo there now.
Yeah.
Ashton Romanek, St. James Junior Canucks guy.
Nice. There's a few fighter
New pro.
guys that golf there too. It's a
Yeah.
great place. I golfed there a few times last year.
JP.
JP,
Oh, yeah.
There or what?
Jeremy
Some other
Dawes,
guys?
Mhm.
Ben
JP, JD.
Akins, Kyle
Nice.
Bonrack. Great
They're all
guys.
there.
Tim, you got a nickname?
For myself?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd go by Ringer pretty
Ringer.
often. Yeah, most people call me Ringer.
Anything else ever come up over the years? I don't know. I'm serious. I
I don't know. You said that with a wry smile. I don't know.
I did.
I know. Yeah. What are you?
I
What are you
only
trying to
wrote
bait
down-
me in here?
What do I don't know?
I only wrote down Ringer. I'm not
I mean,
sure.
that's the only one that's really stuck.
Right.
Or
I think
stuck,
I
I should say.
I never really had a nickname. My name was just Mike. So I
Well, I
always
use Spike Myth.
Spike Myth.
I just like to
You
hear
had to
other people's
reprogram
nicknames.
or rebrand yourself in
Big
our,
City
yeah.
Mike.
our Winter League Big
Big
City
City.
Mike. Dirty Mike and the boys.
Dirty Mike and the boys, the old soup
in
can.
the soup kitchen or whatever. Anyways, have you ever got a hole in one?
No, you know what? I came. The closest I've ever come was twice, and it was this year. Both times it was at. I went to Falcon with Levy, Miney, and Ross, and it was like just a little dewy day. Hit one, and it was again like we landed, and we're all watching. We're like, oh my god, that might go in, and sure enough, it landed like 6 inches, and then again at that Knuckers tourney, same thing, 6 inches, 5 inches, yeah.
On the 18 over par hole, of course. It's better that you won it though than some. Although they're all good people that usually show up.
Yeah, no, it's a big group of good guys. Yeah.
Maybe one of the women golfers could have won it, but hey, whatever. It was you. Close second.
Thank you. Same physique. Same slender physiques.
Tim Senior, does he have a hole in one?
I don't think he does. No, I don't think he does. I think he's been close. I might get that wrong, but I don't think he has. No, I think it's been the same thing. Do you guys have him?
Nope.
Nope.
Oh, eh?
No,
you know,
that's why Mike
even-
tortures us
not
with
even
this
close.
question every.
Yeah.
Every show.
I want one though.
Yeah,
I really
don't
do.
you, right? Like,
I
yeah.
do want one, and like that tournament would have been a hell of a time to do it.
Oh,
Like, that would have been
absolutely.
insane, and like. Yeah, it was just. I wish that happened. I probably would have been expensive because I would have been buying a lot of rounds.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you know JP, but he got one at a firefighter golf tournament.
Oh, no.
I love telling this story. It was like a 120-yard hole, and he hit it with his driver, shanked it up the middle of scuffed it up there somehow, and got it. But I think that day cost him like
With a driver.
$2,500 or
Wow.
like $2,000 or something.
My.
Because everyone was like, he's buying
course.
drinks for everyone.
Yeah.
And you know, JP just
Yeah.
fucking. He
Nicest
loves that
guy in the
stuff.
world.
Nicest guy, like best guy. Love the guy to death.
That's
and
funny, right?
yeah, he was just swiping the credit card nonstop, bottles of wine at the table, just,
okay,
fucking-
well, that's-
just drinks. But yeah,
Excessive.
So, yeah. I don't.
Let's not set an expectation
Yeah,
here.
for the record, I don't think it was a driver, but you know, it was something close. He'll say otherwise, but I'm certain it was.
It was a
at
metal.
least a hybrid on 120 yards.
That's okay. What golf ball do you play, Tim? You play a regular brand?
You know what? I play. I really prefer a Titleist Pro V, but I don't play them like regularly. But I usually have a few of those in the bag that I like to play.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Take them out for closest to the pins.
that's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But I know I
Seems
like
to work
those.
for you.
Yeah, I love the Titleist. They're great balls.
Popular answer. You got a favorite course that you like to play in Manitoba?
You know, my favorite course is probably Falcon. I love Falcon. Great course. Always
Beautiful.
in good shape.
Yeah.
Lush.
So lush.
It is lush. Yeah.
Lush.
Yeah, and usually when I'm out there, it's like a cabin weekend or something. So it's
Certainly. It's always good. Yeah. Well, that's actually
always good
came up
vibes.
before because it's like I don't know if it's a resort course, but like you're always in a good mindset when you're out there because it's not
For
like
sure.
you're not rushing there after work. You know, you have like,
usually staying over somewhere.
exactly.
Yeah, for sure.
Who's the super at Falcon?
Dave Turner.
Dave
who's been on the
Turner.
show, yeah.
Love it. That episode's
Another
great.
person we're
I've,
supposed to golf with.
I've listened to that Dave Turner episode a few times, but
Really?
shout out to Dave.
I have to check that one out.
He's been there for many
Yeah.
years. You got a bucket list course in Manitoba that you'd love to get out to.
You know what? I always hear you guys talk about Oak Island.
Yeah.
I want to get out that way. I'm never out there.
Yeah.
Never
We should
been
do
out
it this
that way.
summer because I haven't
But-
played it either. I know Mike,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dirty
We just
Mike and the
once-
boys went
or
out
well,
there.
we played it a couple times
Yeah.
in the Harambe
That's right. Yeah, I heard about the Harambe thing.
Memorial
It's
Golf
unreal.
Invitational.
Yeah, it's an invitational. That's why you needed to get an invite.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We haven't got ours yet.
I screwed up my first year when it started. I had the opportunity to go, but didn't make it, and never been invited
Been
since. Yeah.
blacklisted, yeah.
Never came back. I would like to get the. You guys should blow up that lefty righty thing.
Yeah, we should
We should
start
make that, a
up
couple more
again.
groups and do that. That'd be
Yeah.
fun.
That would be
Maybe go
actually,
do
yeah.
Oak Island
Harambe
weekend.
this
Yeah.
year, I think, is going west. Killarney,
Oh, cool.
Pleasant Valley,
Nice.
and then
Good
we
for
might
you
hit
guys.
something else on the way out there.
Yeah, that's a good tournament you guys
Can't
got.
remember.
That's awesome.
And then we might be doing a tour there with Pat Law. Patrick Law, who's out at Dosa National, Minnedosa.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
We might be going all the way through there,
Oh yeah,
in and around, doing a little bit with
he-
Patrick Law.
he did a little posting there. It was like, what was it? 3 days, 4 rounds of golf,
Yeah.
and it was it looked like a really good deal. It was Minnedosa, Poplar, Neepawa, and Clear Lake,
Yeah, that's a solid rotation.
and I think stay at Elkhorn.
at Patrick Law's house. That's why it's so cheap.
Yes.
Bring your sleeping bags.
Dosa National, very nice course. played it once, but I got to get out there again.
And the Sean Skeen experience. We're going to Hecla.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At Buffalo Point, I think.
Sean Skeen Memorial Tournament.
Yes.
He's back. He's going to Hecla. Yeah, Hecla.
Yeah, going to
Yeah.
Hecla.
Right.
Ryder
Oh,
Cup style.
That was a great tournament last year. That was
August.
fun. Yeah.
Are you coming, Mike? We don't
We'll
know
see.
yet.
That's
You're
a TBD.
TBD? Okay.
That's a TBD.
Well, I'm not going if you're not going. I'll tell you that right now.
Then you're going to get blacklisted.
In your opinion, what's the most memorable course that you have ever played? You do some golf tourism a little bit. You get out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit. You know, I try to.
Just in Arizona.
Yes, that's right.
And
were
let's
just in
talk about
Arizona.
the shoes. The golf
Ah,
shoes.
that's a good
fuck.
story. That's
What
a great
loser.
story.
I'm such a loser, man. And you know what? Like, I blame my child for this because,
course.
the amount
Can't
of stuff
defend
you have to pack. Yeah, he's one. He doesn't even know what this podcast is. No, but like, I was like, you pack so much stuff for your kid and you're running around like mayhem crazy. So anyways, I pulled out my shoe box where all my shoes are in my mudroom there, grabbed two white shoes, golf shoes right on the top, chucked them in, get there, sure enough, unpack them 4 days later, golf. Morning of 15 minutes to go and I have 2 left shoes. I'm like, come on, 2 different pairs, 2 left shoes. I'm like, fuck's sakes. So I golfed in New Balance runners the whole day. It was horrible.
Yeah, who's this Muni?
Oh, such a loser. Yeah. But no, had a great day. It was super fun. Rented clubs. I mean, it was like kind of cold when the sun went out, but we had a good day. A lot of beers. It's fun.
But anyways, yeah, memorable course. Maybe you played a couple
Yes,
down there.
memorable course. You know what? I think it was probably that course with you and Levy. That Wildfire.
Yeah, Wildfire.
I really like that. That was probably the nicest
Scottsdale.
course I golfed, honestly, down in Phoenix. It was the Nick Faldo course.
Nick Faldo, yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
that was a great course. That was a fun day.
Great day.
Yeah,
We did
a
a
lot
little
of fun.
match play, and
That's right.
everything was just flying there. Like
it
something
was
like
crazy, man.
the
Was it hot?
elevation. It was hot. It was like November.
Oh, okay.
In
But it was
Arizona.
elevation. All right. So is it
Yeah.
more wildfires up
Oh, yeah,
more
it was
so in
great.
like the mountain
Great.
region? Ish
Kind of,
area?
So,
yeah, it was kind of
it's probably
deserty.
North
It was deserty,
Scottsdale.
I would say.
I
Okay.
can't even
Yeah, a little
remember.
more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's up there. But yeah, beautiful course. Lots of bunkers.
Lots of bunkers, yeah.
But
I remember I have a video on my phone of Levy golfing in his famous high ankle socks and his golf shoes,
Yeah.
hacking it out of a bunker.
right.
Still have the video.
There's a good video of him at I think the stadium course hacking it out of a
Yes.
bunker with his
big bunker guy.
knee-high socks.
Yeah,
He likes the beach.
I don't know, like knickers. They're like knee-high knicker socks.
So they're back in style. So
I
he
guess
was
so,
ahead
yeah.
of his time. He's a fashion savant.
Team Lefty, by the way, that's Matt Levins, who we've had on the pod a couple times first season. So yeah, Team Lefty, because we used to have the match there at Hecla. It was Mike and I versus Team Lefty, Blair Mooney and Matt Levins.
Who always wins that? Who wins that one?
It's been back and forth.
Yeah.
So we've split.
It's been two.
I guess Mooney won it the first year, like on the
Oh,
trophy.
I
I still got
see.
the trophy in the garage there.
Right.
Yeah. I'm sure Levy's not bringing much
Some
to the
great
table, let's
times.
be
Yeah.
honest.
I think I remember on whatever it was the first year that I played up there, and this was before we had Team Righty versus Team Lefty. I forget I think it might be the third hole. It was a par 3, lake to the left, about $175, and I just slept on the tee box. And a couple groups played there, just blacked out.
That's
Yeah.
unreal.
Well, I don't know. I wouldn't recommend that, but wasn't good for the
Was
golf
that when,
game. That's
was
why
that
I
when
lost.
Lefty won?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Actually, Levy told me he had a crazy round there. He said he was hitting the ball really well.
Levy gets in the swing zone, so
Well,
there's a
that's
thing
the
called the
thing.
swing zone. Once he
I've-
gets in it,
I've golfed a lot of times
it's
with Levy,
incredible.
and you know what you got to do is you got to fluff him up a bit. And I'm a very good cheerleader for my team in scrambles, and especially
Apparently.
if I'm golfing with Levy, I like to fluff him up. Hey man, get him in the zone. Hey, that was a great shot. As long as you amp him up, you get him all fired up. He can make some good shots.
Yeah, well, I think there was a stretch there. He was 1 over.
Yeah, no,
It
he's
was like 4,
can
5,
put it
6, 7
together,
holes.
yeah.
It was like 1 over. Like, where did this guy come from?
Yeah.
It's like, what the hell are we doing here?
Didn't you have to buy a new shirt?
Yeah, he did. He didn't bring any golf shirts or something.
I thought he ripped. I forget what happened.
ripped it off.
Oh,
Anyways.
yeah. No, he couldn't swing. He was too big.
Oh, your shirt was too
biceps-
tight.
His shirt was too tight. Yeah,
Too
biceps were
tight.
too big. So he had to go on the first tee, try to take a couple swings. He was wearing a button up, like a full button up.
Was that his
Idiot.
reasoning for buying a new shirt? Yeah, he probably just had a mustard stain on it right on the front of it. He didn't want to wear it.
We can't roast him too hard. He's not here. What's your career low round?
My career low round was I think it was this year. I think it was a 77 or 78.
Yeah, it's solid.
Yeah.
At the Boneyard.
The Boneyard. Yeah. So, I mean, take that for what it is. It's the Boneyard. It's
the
not
Royal
the,
Assiniboine.
Hey, it's still tricky.
But honestly, I love that course. It's great. And honestly, it's getting so much better in the last few years. Like the shape of it, the fairways are getting much better. I don't know who the greenkeeper is there, but he's killing it. Greens are looking good. But I mean, yeah, it's not a super hard course. So take that for what it is. But
Well, it's
on the
tricky,
scorecard, it's pretty like there's only a couple holes, believe it or not, at Assiniboine where there's no OB.
yeah, that's fair. Honestly,
And
yeah.
some people still find it.
I certainly put a few OB in that course. Yeah. That's that third hole has my number. That marsh. I play this. I play it so much now because I do the men's night with those guys every Thursday. Love that. Love the Thursday night men's night. But I play that third hole the same every time. I aim left over those trees every time because I don't even go near that marsh.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. And I just stay over there.
Thing to do,
It seems to work. So
a great approach shot onto the third or the 12th green
Exactly, yeah.
at Assiniboine is middle of the second fairway.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. We're in between.
Yeah, we're in the driving range, the old driving range there. Although I don't know if the local rule is still there where that was OB. I don't know.
We gotta find
to stake
someone
those at some
to
point.
design that course for the virtuals at Fourth Line.
Oh, that'd be
Right,
awesome.
yeah. Because we got Larders. Larders is in there.
That's right.
GS Pro, I think it is.
Larders is a great course.
Yeah, I think we
Larders is a
talked
fun
about that.
course,
Like and it's good for match play. So if
It
even
is,
if you're doing like
it's a good course.
The
righty versus lefty match.
The guys from Larders, they won the RBC Scramble.
Right.
So
Nice.
congratulations
Look
to
at you,
them.
yeah.
Oh, did
Congrats.
they? Wow, that's crazy.
Pretty well. Like
Where do they have that RBC Scramble?
Cabot
Yeah, it's Cabot.
Links or
That's
Cliffs.
I don't know.
One of the two.
You have to go out there and they do it.
You fly you out there.
I think one of the regionals is at Southwood this year for the RBC.
Did you guys go in
Scramble.
that last year?
No.
No.
Too much cheating.
There is a lot of controversy.
Yeah, there's a bit of controversy.
We
Yeah.
should get into
Talk to
that.
Colin Abgrall about that.
Then my wild card here is going back to the rules of the road. So, and I think
I like it.
This will
gonna
be good.
educational. Yeah, it's gonna be educational.
When encountering emergency vehicles, whether they're behind you or on the side of the road, what should motorists do? It seems like in Manitoba we completely do different from the rules of the road of other provinces, and maybe you have I'm not sure. What
Yeah, I'd like to
what
know.
are
That's
the
a good
rules
question.
and what are your opinions on Manitoba drivers?
That's a great question, Mike, and I'm glad you brought that up because a nice public service announcement is due. Pull over to the right and stop.
And stop.
Yeah.
To the right and stop.
And you know what? A lot of people don't. It's like you're driving the fire
We don't
truck
know.
and like you're driving and like you're literally horns blaring, lights, everything, and then someone just stops and you're like, "Come on," or like just goes to the left. You're like, "Oh," because you always go to left lane, right? That's just the easiest.
Okay.
You go left lane, everyone else parks right on the side. Most people don't do any of those things, and also if you're going up to an intersection and there's like if you're parked at the intersection and there's a fire truck behind you with the lights on going crazy and it's a red and everyone stops, just go through the intersection. Like a lot of people try to reach around and move, just go through. It makes everyone's lives easier. You're allowed to do it. I think. I don't know actually. Maybe.
Yeah.
You don't quote me on that, but like it makes my life a lot easier,
Right.
and everyone else on the fire department.
You know, and I'll admit that I'll try to pull over to the right, but I'll probably like slow down. I won't completely stop.
Yeah, I mean,
But-
that's fair. That's totally fair.
But
I mean, I think technically the rules are you're supposed to stop, but
I think a lot of people are probably
as long as you pull to the right,
confused.
yeah, you're good. Yeah.
But
Okay,
then
good to
also
know.
the safety, like you guys are on the road and, you know, there's often accidents that you are attending to, car accidents. And
Because first responders, not only
yeah, I'm sure there's
Firefighters,
people
your first
buzzing
responders.
by you and it's a dangerous workplace for you.
Honestly, yeah, there's a few close calls where people just go like flying beside trucks. Like my doors almost got hit off a few times. Like
Whoa.
crazy. Like and
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, people. I don't know. Some people just don't really understand or don't care. I'm not sure, but yeah, certainly
Winnipeg.
Winnipeg. Yeah, great city.
One great city.
Bucket course.
Yeah,
you got a
bucket
bucket
list.
course
Bucket
list anywhere in the world.
Oh yeah. You know what? I would really like to play Pebble Beach. I would love
Yeah.
to play
Oh, yeah.
Pebble Beach. I remember playing it on like Tiger Woods when I was like a kid. On you know,
Iconic.
You guys,
Iconic. Love
you guys
that
are
course.
big. JR, big Pebble Beach guy.
Well, didn't you
Yeah.
play Pebble Beach?
Oh, we're supposed
Yeah,
to
you
play
played,
Pebble,
right?
but they punched the greens, and then we ended up playing Spyglass, which was
Right.
the more challenging of the courses there. They have Monterey, Spyglass, and Pebble, and then it got it turned into my stag.
Right, that's right.
And I ended up peeing in the ocean. And there's a video of me peeing in the ocean, off the pier.
That's come up a few times. Yeah. In fact, my mom listens to the podcast, and she brought up to me, so that's pretty funny. But
you guys did the fashion show together in high school.
He seemed like such a nice guy.
What happened to him?
How do you pee in the ocean sitting down though? That's the question. Did you just squat in the ocean?
That was a number 2.
Pebble Beach. Well, JR, you want to go to Pebble Beach for the 40th?
40th. Trying to round up some 40th
honestly,
birthdays are coming up here. Yeah.
I would love to do that. That'd be great.
Except it's gotten increasingly expensive.
Is it? Yeah.
To go down there and play. So maybe we can work some magic with.
Some of those courses are just wild. I looked at Wolf Creek when I was down in Vegas. It was like $1,000.
Whoa,
this is nutty. Can't do that.
U.S.
US. I'd love to go to Bandon. I think that's it's up there.
Also U.S. Go to Cabot
or Pinehurst.
Yeah, I had a few guys from work did a Cabot trip. They said it was amazing. Said it was unreal. I would love to go out that way.
Do all the Manitoba courses first, and then get out there.
You know what's funny? What's on my list? Because I
oh my, what is that?
It's from an old. It's from
just
Double D there.
Yeah.
Or from Nipawa there. The announcer for the Dauphin Knights.
Oh, Dauphin Kings.
Dauphin Kings.
Darnell Duff.
Do you own a cockatoo?
Cockatiel.
I don't think you do, but
you're not a bird guy. He's more of a dog guy, not a bird guy.
Yeah. Flagship question in the back 9 lightning round. What is your I got an A, B, and C question.
Okay, good.
To this
I like
because I'm going to add some stuff because I know what people use for condiments. But we got to ask you now. What's your favorite condiment?
Ketchup.
Ketchup.
Right. Love ketchup. Yeah. Big ketchup guy.
Standard
serial killer.
Just a standard ketchup guy.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with ketchup.
Yeah, ketchup.
It's fine. It's
ketchup.
Good. Ketchup's great.
French fries.
I like ketchup.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't put ketchup in my hot dogs, but that's okay. That's okay. It's still a very necessary condiment.
I know this isn't a interview for you per se, but I would love to know your favorite condiment.
It's well known. I think it's well known by everyone that mustard is certainly my favorite, as it's often found on my wardrobe after a long night of indulging in some beers, but get some
indulging in anything.
Some hot dogs.
Brett's got that stain remover on.
Oh yeah, I got some
ready
to go is ready.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Maybe some horseradish. Throw that in there as a wild card.
Wow. Okay.
My question B here is, what would be your favorite seed or nut?
Oh,
for me, I'm gonna go first here, and JR, maybe you go second. But I'll say a walnut is probably my ideal nut. JR,
I'm simple. I'm a peanut guy.
Peanut.
I got some stashed away. Got lots of peanut butter in the house. Daughter loves the peanut butter.
Pistachio.
Oh, pistachio.
Yeah,
Wow.
I love pistachios.
Pistachio ice cream.
Shelled though.
Get some of that shelled.
I ain't peeling no shells.
No,
I want to dip in a handful.
It's a lot of work.
Crush a handful of pistachios.
But I
don't want to work for it.
That makes it a little bit more dangerous.
Oh, it's insane. It's like
even
1,000 calories for a quarter cup.
You can go through.
It's absurd.
Sodium.
You want to bulk up for golf season, JR? There you go. There's your hack.
On the mass program, I need some shelled pistachios.
Costco, man, huge bag.
And then I got favorite type of pasta noodle. I'm a rigatoni guy. Big rigatoni guy.
I could see that. Seemed like a rigatoni guy. I would say like a penne. Like a penne.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe it's just basic macaroni.
Yeah, good
I'm fine
answer.
with the macaroni, but
no.
Well, we'll have to check. We'll have to check since we are here in Studio A, inside. We can check my pantry after.
Mm-hmm. We
see
can
what's in there.
Not even after. Right now, we're going live to the pantry.
I feel like
we'll do it live.
I feel like if anyone's made it through this hour, they've turned it off at this point. They're like, I'm done
They're
here.
talking about pasta now? Talking about going through pantries?
We're at $1.20 right
These
now.
stupid assholes. I don't want to hear about their pasta
That's
choices. That's great.
I didn't think we'd get through half an hour, and we got through an hour and 20, which is always what happens. But
welcome to the 18 Over Par Pod. If this is the first time listening, it's only our 100th and 10th episode.
I don't even know. I stopped counting.
Yeah, too many. All right. Well, that was the back nine lightning round for Bryce Malashewski, who is an investment advisor with Endeavor Wealth Management, part of IA Private Wealth and a member of the Canadian Investor Protection Fund. You can contact Bryce at 204-515-3446. You can also hit him up in our bio. Go to our Facebook or Instagram page, click on our bio, We got our link tree there. We're going to have a bunch of links as well to the stuff we talked about today.
Yeah. Send Bryce a fax.
Or yeah,
We should
talk
put
about
that on
fax
the link.
machine. That's his big. We should
link
actually.
tree.
He's got a fax number.
People will just start faxing him some weird stuff. He's like, guys, you got to take this down. I'm not sure if he's got a
He
single.
just likes being a part of it. That's what
I'm
he
not
said.
sure
He loves
if
being a
Bryce
part of
has
it.
got a single lead from being advertising.
He
and-
said so. These were his words. People aren't beating down my door, but I like being a part of it
That's awesome.
well, you know what?
because people mention it.
you're
And they
really,
mention
you're
it
really
to
not
his wife.
selling me as a sponsor.
But Bryce probably
you have
has
to be a part of
Bryce probably has a 6-panel door. So
That's
There you go. Follow
Wow.
me for more.
good callback.
Good recall.
At Tradesman
Good call.
Group Tim. Follow me on Instagram.
Tim, great interview. Pleasure talking to you.
and
You
thank
had
you for the beer too.
some great stories.
Mhm.
You were entertaining. We knew you would be. And thank you very much.
Hey guys, thanks for having me. Long time listener. Glad I can make it on here. You guys are doing great work. Love the pod.
Thank you, season 5.
Yeah.
We appreciate that.
Love
Thanks
it.
so much.
Thanks for
We'll have to
having me.
get out and golf. Well, we're gonna have to anyways because we owe you around at Southwood. But anyways, that's it. Season 5, episode 1. Thanks again for tuning in. Have yourselves a wonderful evening. I'll talk to you next time.
So long.
Bye bye.
And you can count on me waiting for you in the parking lot.